One thing I've noticed about God on my walk with Him is that in order for us to receive certain answers to our prayers and certain blessings, we have to endure hardship and struggle and go through times of testing. Because if not, whatever we're asking for in prayer, we're not going to be able to handle it or keep it because we have not um, been tested. Our character has not been developed in the way that we need it to. And a lot of times that comes through periods where we are going through a lot of warfare and struggle, whether it be financially, mentally, emotionally. And at the time, it feels like we're being punished or we are being abandoned. And a lot of times, it's just the fact that we see our circumstances as the opposite of what we are asking for, and it doesn't make sense that we're getting the opposite of what we prayed for, or that's what it looks like in the natural. And the thing is, we have to be purified and we have to be transformed, not only so that we can receive our answered prayer, but also we can become more Christ-like and be able to manifest more things in our life through Jesus. And that's, a lot of what he came here to show us to do was um to have authority and power in him. And when we deny ourselves, we deny our flesh, and we are willing to go through the sanctification process, that's when he can really show his glory through us and his power. But we have to allow him to do that. But in Mark 2:22, it talks about how we cannot pour new wine into old wineskins, because if we try to do that, it'll burst the wineskin and it'll ruin the wine. And it's just like how we are. We can't expect God to do a new thing in our life if we still are the same person that we were in our past. And this requires a lot of healing and cleansing of our sin. And it can be very painful. God, a lot of times, has to separate us from people that we have been very close to, people that we're familiar with, places we're familiar with, and sometimes has to completely isolate us so that we can be stretched and tested in a way that we never have been, because we have to be able to have the integrity to carry whatever he is going to bless us with. And the separation can feel so just very heavy, very lonely. People that you thought would be in your life forever, people that you were close to, that you used to confide in about things, and never could see your life without them in it. You you drift apart. You realize that this walk with God, it requires our obedience, and sometimes that obedience can cost us everything. Everything that we're familiar with, everything that's comfortable to us. And you come to the end of yourself. You have to come to the end of yourself in order for God to do a new thing. And a lot of times we don't really realize the cost of that and what it really takes to get there. And the more we have to go through, the more we have to endure, the bigger the blessing and the more God is preparing and planning for us. And that's why it's taking so long. But we have to allow him to give us new wineskin so that we can receive his new wine in our lives. It's not glamorous, it's not easy. The modern church likes to depict walking with Jesus as something to be romanticized, which I guess it can be, but not enough people want to talk about the sacrifices that God requires of us, and that can be painful. It can be so confusing. Jesus told the rich ruler in the Bible to give up everything and follow him, and he couldn't because he was so attached to his wealth, and he found his identity in that, and he was not able to give that up to have freedom and peace. And the thing is, when we follow Jesus, he gives us more than anything in this world could ever give us. We might have to suffer, we might have to be persecuted and not understood, but the thing is, he's the one who can give us everything. He's the one who's in control of everything. So he's the answer. He's the only way. But the new wine that we desire, it is costly. We have to change. We have to transform. God does not give blessings at the wrong timing. He makes sure everything is lined up, everything is exactly how it needs to be, exactly how it needs to happen before it does happen. So trust if you're in the process of transforming and being purified, being separated. God is going to restore you. God is going to give you everything back, but better. The people that you have lost in your life people he has separated you from, they were in your life for a season, but God has new people in your life that he's going to send